Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Tavern. My name's Jay, and again, I'll be sewing more. I'm actually not almost done, but I so far sewing this together. I got up to. It's gonna be a while, like maybe a few more days. A few more days, and then yeah, I got to do a bit more. So I'm gonna be sewing. I don't have a lot to say. I'm not really. I haven't like been angry, but I guess I can just talk about like random shit that's been on my mind. So one thing is like I don't want to make this channel political. I really don't. I've been getting into politics myself a little bit just to see like what's going on with the world. So just to stay informed. And I think that's the best anybody can do, stay informed. But one thing I've noticed that the people that stay informed are people who actively do research, while other people are for the for the for the most part, in my opinion, I feel like they're scared to actually dive into research. Like there's, I guess, cancel culture. They're scared of cancel culture. They're scared of what could happen. Or I could lose my job. I can be banned, lose my job. And I've been thinking about this a lot. One thing I regret myself, for the most part, one thing I feel like was a bad idea was getting into Twitter and for the most part social media. Why? Because one, I was happy. I was a lot happier without social media. And one thing I have to come to terms with is I have it. I use it, and I so far as like I read comments on Twitter. I have Twitter, Parler, and Minds. Minds and Parler have been fairly nice. I've gotten some good comments, and I've been posting. I haven't posted anything recently, but a lot of what I've been posting has just been my little projects here. So me sewing this, me just like having fun, my streams, like hobbies. So what I do is I post hobbies. Why? Because hobbies make me happy. Hobbies ground me into reality. I get depressed. If I get depressed, I get bored, I sew. Take my needle, start sewing. Why? Because one, I have a pro. So this is something I've realized a while back, but I keep reinforcing in my head and to others. I can't stay still, or it's like I don't want to stay still. I want to be working. I want to be active, either mentally or physically. And so I decided take up some hobbies, things I want to do in the house, and just like be remotely active. If I'm not sewing, if I'm not doing anything, if I'm not making a video, then I'm probably outside going for a walk in a park. Why? Because why not? Because one, it's actually very good. Very one is healthy, two is good, three it's actually good for mental health. For those who advocates mental health, I'm not gonna say I advocate for it or anything or I'm part of it, but I don't suffer a lot of mental health issues. Like, I would say everybody suffers from depression at one point or another because sometimes people just have negative thoughts. I'm a pessimist by nature, and so yeah, I have to keep busy. It's just part of who I am. I can't just stay still. So if I'm not doing this, if I'm not outside, then I look up different games, theories, something that keeps me thinking, that makes me think, huh, that's interesting. And one thing I've noticed, anything like can't, like, pretty much like cancel culture, where it says you can't have an opinion, you can't do this, you can't be, you pretty much you can't be who you want to be. You have to be who we want you to be. And people, in a way, people are afraid of that. But I think it's like an unfounded fear because of the mob, and they're basing their entire existence based on something they probably never wanted to be, based on what the mob wants them to be. I take issue with that because, one, I don't see a lot of individuality. I really don't. Not on Twitter. I see people who go into fursuit making, who goes into crafting, but then a lot of them is like they have identifiers in their profile, like many identifiers, and I see people living not how they want to live, but by their identifiers, almost like as a badge of honor. I got that from Tim Pool, where, well, the concept where that some people say like people wear their mental health, their identity as like a badge of honor. I tend to agree. So I see a lot of times like on Twitter, and sometimes it's like it's fine. You want to like talk to people and you have friends on Twitter and Parlor and Minds. But many times I see people post like, "Oh, I have like an anxiety attack. I have this." I'm not even gonna use anxiety attack. Like I'm having like a mental health breakdown, and I think my mind works differently. I'm not gonna say it's fake, or like a fake breakdown, but it's like, okay, so why did you have the breakdown? What were you thinking about? Sometimes it can't be helped, and people do have it, and which I would say actually get help. Goes to like a therapist or something, or like get a hobby, do a hobby. That's just my opinion. But a lot of times people post on Twitter, and instead of like, a lot of times it's not that helpful. I would say, like, I'm going to use anxiety for example. People have a lot of anxiety over things, and yeah, it's valid, but at the same time, why are you telling people on Twitter about your anxiety problems instead of people who actually care? Because then people on Twitter probably say, "Oh, I've had this as well. I've had this as well." Some people on Twitter are actually like good about it, but a lot of times they'll either come up with their stories of, "Oh, I've had this same problem as well," or like other things, and then it's like, okay, so maybe the problem got solved, but then another day after or something, you post another issue you have. Then a day after, you post another issue you have, and it's part of like the same issue. And what ends up happening is the problem isn't getting solved because you're talking to people on Twitter. You're not doing. It's like you're not doing much to solve the issue. You're just using that issue as an identifier, and you're living as your identifier, not as someone who's trying to actually like actively fight against it. Sometimes it's hard, yes. Is my opinion a very hot? It's this is just my opinion. It's probably like, you know, a hot take and whatnot, possibly get me in trouble. But people, here's what I see: people need to stop using Twitter, Parlor, Minds, as a platform to, as like the therapist, I should say. Because what ends up happening is, one, you're not getting actual help. You're getting a bunch of people saying like, yes, I have this issue as well. Here's what you do, and the the solution might not actually help, or the solution is only such a temporary solution, and the solution that actually, it could be this. One, the solution is temporary. It only stops it for like say maybe a day, to use as an example. Two, the solution could possibly not work at all. Or three, the solution could actually make everything far worse. I say that because a lot of times, again, I think it's because people use Twitter as like, or not even Twitter, social media as like their therapist. Another thing is I see people like, I don't know. I feel like people on, this is mostly on Twitter. I haven't seen it on Minds or Parler because, quite frankly, I don't think people actually use Minds or Parler too much. Or if they have issues, they do what I do. They find a hobby. But yeah, I think people on social media just like live by fears. So what I mean by that is, it's been on my mind a while. I've been thinking about it the entire day. They live by being fearful of what could happen. So instead of trying something new, their mind already their mind already tells them you're gonna fail, you're gonna fail. They fear starting something new because they already have the preconceived notion of they're gonna fail. And social media decides to like kind of exasperate it, where either A, you get a bunch of yes men, and like you get a bunch of yes men, you start doing something, but then you notice that all those yes men is of just like a false sense of is like a false sense of you doing something productive when you're probably either A, not doing much with it, or B, you feel like you're failing because even though people are saying like yes, do it, go ahead, do it, nothing comes of it because like say streaming. People on Twitter and any social media for this matter, anybody on social media is like, yes, go ahead, do it. I'll watch you. I'll support you. Don't actually come in and support you. Don't do anything. And all it is just a bunch of fake supporters. Did I mess up somewhere? I think I did. But yeah, just like a bunch of fake supporters. And in all honesty, I don't think it's like the healthiest thing. Because you get a bunch of fake supporters, fake yes men. Then when you start noticing that nothing's actually going the way you want to go, you don't know. Essentially, they don't know. These are people that don't know what they did wrong, where they went wrong. They don't reflect on anything, and what ends up happening is that they start making things a lot worse for themselves. I guess I'm going on a rant. I don't have like, I'm just ranting at this point. So I'm going to use myself as an example. Sometimes I get hit with depression because a lot of times, I'll just say it right here, right now, I get lonely. Like, sometimes it just hits me like, I live alone. I live a lonely life. I'm a loner. I don't like people. I don't like being around people. I'm not good in large groups. Will it stop me? No, it won't. But I don't like being in large groups. I'm not very talkative. I'm not someone who actually talks about my feelings. Not, I would say I don't talk about my feelings a lot. When I let it out, I'll let it out. but you have to be someone I can actually trust, and I'm not a very trusting person. Like, in other words, you have to earn my trust before I can say anything to you that actually means a thing. And that's not. I'll say that right now. It's not a very easy thing to do because I've for me, I've had people in my life who I thought I could trust, but then shit ended up happening, and I no longer trust them. I don't trust people's words. I trust people's actions, and that's what I see on Twitter. People say a lot of shit, but they don't do a lot. If you understand what I'm saying. So, for example, I stream. You see it up there right now at twitch.tv/BunnyJ. I stream. I post it on Twitter. I post it on a couple of social medias. The other social medias I'm not well known because I just got on them and I just started. I use them rarely, and so I don't expect people just to follow me, actually follow me there. But on Twitter, it's like I tried networking. It helps a little bit, but it doesn't help with like actual viewers. And I don't see people like a lot of tips people give out for streaming is just be yourself. Honestly, that's it. It's just be yourself. Like, oh, people like who you are. Like, we'll follow you, we'll support you, but they never do. And yeah, now I've had people just follow me. I have people subscribe to my channels because they actually do like my content. But really, the only tip I could give is just grind. Find out what works for you. Find out what doesn't work for you. See what you can do. Grind. It's as simple as that. For me, for example, I would say, for example, me on YouTube. I play games. And then every Sunday, I sell, I talk, a lot of bullshit. I might actually just do that for the weekend, an extra day of sewing, an extra day of me talking. Because I do like sewing, I like making things. I really do. And I want to actually do more. Like, right now, this is me practicing sewing. After a while, I want to say around next Friday, or well, sometime next week or in 2 weeks, I might just get a sewing machine. I don't know. I have to see how much they cost, if they can use upholstery thread, things like that, and pretty much just like see if I can get a sewing machine. Otherwise, I'm gonna be hand sewing, which isn't bad, and I'll be looking up other designs to do. Like right now, this is like I'm just right now just one part of the pillow. Now I pretty much have this in here. I can possibly like see how it looks, which probably wouldn't look bad. No, not that bad. Not that bad. But yeah, I gotta. It'll be finished within like I want to say a few more days, maybe a week. I don't know. That's just like my little rant. I just really dislike Twitter sometimes though. I dislike people actually, not even Twitter. People, because a lot of times people aren't who they say they are, or they aren't as helpful. I've been let down before, so a lot of what I'm saying comes from the fact that I've been let down by many people. So do take what I say with a grain of salt. But that's how I view people. That's how I see people. A lot of people, they live in fear in my eyes because they don't want to appear weird. They don't want to appear as the other. Whereas in my case, nobody's normal. Everybody's weird. Get off your damn high horse. We all have our quirks. We all have something that makes us. I would say in my case, weird to me is unique. You have a unique trait, a unique skill set, something that makes you you, and everybody's trying so hard just to be like somebody else. I don't want to be like anybody else. I like being me. As much as like I'm much of a loner, I like being lonely. I like my isolation. I like being away from people. I get more work done that way. One, I get more work done that way. Two, I don't have I guess I don't have like-minded people in my group, and I gotta find more people. Not for an echo chamber, that much I'll say for certain, but like people who are into crafting, people who are into making things. So that way, I have somebody I can talk to, whether they're woke, non-woke, whatever. Just someone I can like say, hey, I need help designing some things, or like I need things to make some designs, or I made this. What have you done? So on and so forth. But yeah, those are just like my little hot takes on everything. I know my thoughts are right now. All of this is all of what you're watching right now is raw. There is no script. There is no nothing. You're just hearing my thoughts. You're hearing my thoughts. You're hearing me complain, and that's about it. There is nothing else to it. I don't need a script. I just do. Is it great? Maybe. Does it work for people? Maybe. Are you gonna like it? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. And if you don't like it, well then you don't like it. Other than that, I think that's pretty much everything. Because again, I don't have a lot to say. There hasn't been much happening on Twitter for me on in life, aside from people getting canceled for like stupid shit. I don't know. I don't know. If you want to see, I guess you could probably give me topics for like Sunday topics or whatnot, things for me to talk about, and then I look into it over like the course of I don't know whatever amount of time I need to, or I just say my piece and opinion on it, and then it becomes like a Saturday Sunday kind of thing. Otherwise, I'm probably just gonna be playing games. I might play more story based games to be honest for this channel. Play some more story based games, and I'm open to ideas. Like I don't want it to just be games. I want to do more with the channel. So like maybe I don't know if I can do like if I can plan a day to just like sew a project from like start to finish. Because right now, sewing has been the most peaceful thing ever. I every video every time I upload a video, I immediately put on like a podcast and start sewing. At night, after I'm done streaming, after I'm done recording a video for the next day, I throw on YouTube on my TV. I sew. It's been the most. it's been the most fun thing for me so far, and it's been the one thing that's been again, it's been keeping me grounded. I've been having fun with it, and it like it doesn't make me think. It doesn't give me any negative thoughts. I would say one thing though, like as I'm not gonna say I'm a hateful person. I just dislike people. But just because I dislike people, like here I am, just like making a heart pillow for whatever. Well, I'm not even gonna say for whatever reason because I want to practice, and I've had this design in my head for a while now. I actually had it designed on Kiwi's forehead in a different way. Well, different color scheme, I should say, because I wanted Kiwi to have something, but I've never made it a thing. I haven't. I could probably put it on the chest. I don't know. I don't know. I'll think about. I'm thinking about it right now, but yeah. I think that's about it. There's nothing else I really have to say. I'll try to get something more concise and more on topic than this because right now a lot of these videos are just me ranting about things I've pretty much been like holding on to for like a week. So like give it time to fester and then just talk about it. Otherwise, it's like it's here, it's done, it happened. Move on with my life, and yeah. So with that being said, I think I've ranted long enough, and you probably heard me talk long enough. With that being said, thank you for watching. Hope you all enjoyed. If you like more of what I do, you can follow me on Twitch over at Bunny J. You can follow this on YouTube at the Bunny Tavern, Odyssey at Bunny J, and my social medias is Twitter, mine's part over at Bunny J. If you do like what I do, gameplay wise, me ranting, and you want to see different things that I do, then leave it in the comments down below. Can't even talk. If you like what I do, please subscribe and follow me everywhere if you want. And if you have topics you want me to talk about or other feedback, then let me know in the comments down below or on Twitter, mine's part or whatever. With that being said, thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed. The tavern is not closed, and I shall see you all later.